Podcast for life. Hi, welcome to episode 2 of
Music in Transition.
Thought I would feel better to kick some dirty habits. Thing is, now I feel my anger got me running like a rabbit. Born in 87.
Today, we spent about 45 minutes working on Empty Boxes, the tune you heard on our first short podcast. Nemo recorded some vocals.
And Em recorded viola, and we worked out a piano part.
You'll hear samples from all of that, and they will be better mixed than last time. Hooray! So I wasn't exactly sure what to play for the hook. It felt like the rhythm was a little weird to me, and I didn't know where to go with it, or even what instrument it should be on. But Nemo had a really specific idea for that. Do you want to tell them?
I definitely heard the piano part in my head for this. My grandma is a pianist, so with the "What would your grandma think?" that was a really important part for me to hear, like boom, boom, like on the piano.
This is what your grandma would think.
Discord.
Right, yeah. So we're gonna play that whole process for you right now.
Yay.
What would your grandma think?
Dun, 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 dun,
What
dun,
would your grandma
dun,
say?
dun, 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 dun.
Something like that?
Yeah, with like left hand for the triplet. Well, I guess like bass register. Like the way that it's the piano, the way I'm hearing it is like low and then high, so like dun dun dun, dun like chords, you know?
But not that chord, but something.
Yeah.
Let's see. Because
Probably
you're
higher than
like, but in this register, or like in this register.
that. Can the higher one be more discordant?
Yeah.
Now we're gonna do a segment called So,
How'd you do that? So Nemo, on our first short podcast, you mentioned that you texted yourself some lyrics over 3 days in 3 texts, and then you had a song.
Mm-hmm.
As someone who's just started to try to write lyrics, I find that incomprehensible. So, expand. How did you do that?
The hardest part for songwriting is just believing that the words you're hearing are a song. So when I sent those texts, like, I didn't realize they went together. I just heard a series of words in my head, which I believe everybody does, even if you're not a lyricist. Like, I think, like, almost everybody at some point will get, like, a phrase, and it's, like, resonant, and it's like, that's a tasty morsel of a phrase, you know?
Delicious.
Yeah, you get a little delicious sound going, a little, like, delicious bounce across the words, and write that down. And for me, you know, you start writing it down, and, like, other words come next, but I do kind of, like, it does feel like I just hear them, but that's also after, like, a lifetime of studying poetry.
Right. So, what advice would you give to someone like myself who has just started writing lyrics and feels absolutely embarrassed and mortified at the words that I'm writing down, and, like, is it a metaphor? Should I speak directly? Like, I feel like a chump and I sound stupid. Like, what would you say to me?
I feel that way every time I write down words. I mean, did you hear the words in that flow? But they say you love that ass, so shake it like a porno. The only reason I felt okay saying them out loud was because of all the qualifiers in the words themselves.
Yeah.
How, like, I'm actually really awkward and uncool. Like, I don't say shake your ass.
Yeah. Like a porno.
Yeah, I mostly did that for the sound, you know. So yeah, I mean, accept the words that are coming to you. Don't try to chisel them before you pick up the stone.
So for me, what I'm getting is that it sounds like writing. You know, when I was in high school, when I was in college, I would try writing things, and they're mostly absolute shit the first time I try writing them, and then I keep working at it and keep working at it, replace this one word, put this sentence at the beginning of the paragraph, whatever, and then, like, eventually I kind of have a piece there, but it definitely didn't come out that way the first time. Is that sort of where you're going with this? Like, just write down what you have and just go with it?
Yeah. And everybody has a different style. Some people, you're gonna want to, like, edit and rearrange and change a lot of it. Sometimes, like, the words you write aren't even the words you mean. They're just the sounds you mean, and you've got to change those words later. Because a lot of times I write stuff, and then I look at it, and I'm like, did I mean the things that I wrote? Because sometimes I have to change the stuff, because I didn't mean that.
Right. Or did you just want to make that sound?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes, I mean, also, a lot of my songs, like, all the songs on Trigger Warning, I don't think I edited any of those.
Yeah.
Like, those are all, like, the way that I received them. So this song's a little different because I'm, like, we're playing around with it.
Right.
But there's a feeling you get when you're, like, being given a song.
Yeah.
That's a totally different feeling. And I don't think there's some, like, prodigies that'll just happen for, but I think that feeling is mostly the result of, like, a lot of discipline and, like, a lot of working on something. Like, you get that way with viola, I'm sure.
Right, yeah. The first time I picked up a viola, it did not sound like the 1000th time I picked up a viola in any way, shape, or form.
And you don't get that euphoric feeling when you're learning the rudiments of something.
Right. Well, that's actually something that I think about when I'm playing the viola now, and when I think about teaching the viola, is, like, how to make it so that you can really, like, bask in the sound that you're creating. And I feel like that's the same thing with lyrics sometimes, that, like, just go for what really makes you feel satisfied and, like, enjoy it. Like, go for what you enjoy. And if you don't have words, make beats. And if you don't have beats, make melodies.
Yeah.
One thing I did to come up with a backing track for Nemo's Flow was I put it in my headphones, I turned the recorder on, and then I just sang. I just sang a terrible sounding, but, like, the notes I wanted, melody, to go as a backing track. And from there, I put it onto an instrument. Da, 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 da. But it was in my head.
I love that process.
Yeah.
It's so cool. Because if you're, like, trying to figure it out just on an instrument, even if you're really good at it, there's still, like, it's kind of like,
there's a barrier.
It's kind of like learning, like, or, like, hearing a third language or something, right? You kind of have to, like, translate it.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless you're a linguist.
Right, and, like, for some people, your instrument is an extension of yourself, but I've always been someone that, like, I can always, like, sing what I want, and then I have to figure it out on the instrument.
Your instrument is an extension of yourself, but your vocal box is inside yourself.
There you go.
You were born using it.
Okay, so now we're going to play what we have from today, which is going to be the first verse and the hook. Just so you know, the viola in this recorded is being played with a practice mute on because we meet at 7 in the morning. Hey! There's almost always time to make music. It's just an ungodly hour. Yeah.
Well, it's good to know what time you create best during the day. And for Emma and I both, we make music best in the morning. So even though it's fucking hard to get out of bed, this is the optimum time for us to make music.
It's also the only time we have that we can actually meet up because of our work schedules. I work at night and Johnny works during the day. So we're just like, hey.
That's how you know the universe loves us.
Yeah, let's just meet at 7 in the morning and play music really quietly in a studio garage.
Right outside my sleeping roommate's window.
Yeah. Sorry, Abby.
Oh my god, I did so many drugs, I can't even tell if I am who I was. Thought it would feel better to kick some dirty habits. Thing is now I feel my anger got me running like a rabbit. Born in 87, that's a fire rabbit. Which is what I'm spitting, cause my body will not have it to itself anymore. I gotta get it out, how can I keep it in? Even when these confessions seduce and be chagrin, yeah, that's shame. I can't deny it, born under stars, crisscrossed in pain and handled like Goliath. The room of my mind is filled with empty boxes, scattered open and gaping face up in my way. The boxes and names appear and signify to me social anxiety from within my private place. What would your grandma think? What would your grandma say? Right?
I think that was it. Also, first take.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's leave it like that.
Yeah, I love first takes.
Yeah.
Next, we're gonna play you something that we threw together in like the 10 minutes we had left before I go to work.
Nemo, the genius that he is, wrote a flow at work that happened to pair really well with a song that you might well recognize. So we're gonna let you listen to that. It was a 10-minute collaboration, and I think it turned out pretty well.
Yeah, I read it yesterday. 1, 2. Just one of those days where the ocean looks infinite. Too damn cold, but I wanna get in it. Finish the story even before I begin it, cause I'm working. At least I had a view. The world owes me nothing, what do I owe you? Tell me a sob story about what you go through, and I'll write down a flow, that's what I'm gonna do. The color of gray is the play of the day. Scenic set, rise to set, monochromatic light. Sun is set like a stone in the ring of the sky, orbit set like a cast in the shadow of night. The birds know what they are as they race through the sky. Oh what am I?
I think we should wrap this segment up since Johnny's gotta work.
Somebody's gotta go to work.
Aw, Nemo. So, we'll wrap this up by saying, I'm M. Sal.
And I'm Nemo Wayfinder.
Thank you so much for listening.
That B means both.
The B means both.
Thanks
for
so much
listening.
for listening.
Anyways,
Thanks for listening.
You can subscribe to our podcast, Music in Transition, on Podbean, iTunes, SoundCloud. I'm going to throw it on YouTube. Pretty much just type in Music in Transition anywhere and we should pop up.
Or listen on SoundCloud.
Damn it, I said your part. Oh well. Thanks for listening, y'all. Keep listening, subscribe to us. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye. It seems I am a donkey, always bringing up a storm. But they say you love that ass, so shake it like a